descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They are bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you. And we will not let you down. Many of us were told, don't go to Burkina Faso. It's a war-torn country. Guns all over the street. Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you.
It is more than a pleasure that you chose to come here to Burkina. They surely told you that it is an unvisitable country. They told you that it's death here. It's war, there is only negative things, and Burkina is called black. That here, only blood and weapons flow, that's what is said elsewhere. Thank God you arrived safely. You were able to be in Bobo Dioulasso. You've lived with us. Our culture is what binds us Africans. You were able to commune with many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us. Everything went very well. Now you are in Ouagadougou, and I hope that you are very well received, very well housed, and that you managed to commune with your brothers here. This is an important message that you are sending to everyone, and now you will be the ambassadors of this message when you are at home. That Burkina is very friendly. We live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make people believe is not Burkina. This is what they draw to get people to flee Burkina, and they depict all of Africa like that. For them, Africa is misery. Africa is famine. Africa is war, but it's them who are responsible for this war. We need to unite, but they have always been there to divide us, to be able to reign on us through slavery. Our ancestors experienced it, and until today, we have it fed up in our flesh, but it continues. Our great people were deported, tortured, and again when they had their war, we supported them, but they paid us in monkey money. Others were killed when they tried to stake their claim. Several of them died in their village as a result of the war. Never recognized the work of the African. Our mission is first of all to awaken Africa and do better, so that you from the diaspora can make people understand what Africa is.
Pour faire comprendre ce que c'est que l'Afrique. Quand je vous vois unis dans
When I see you united in this association, I feel even more proud because that's all we are asking for today. Our fight is to be able to unite, because united we are strong, divide we are weak.
Parce que unis, nous sommes forts. Divisés, on est faible. Ils ont toujours travaillé à nous diviser.
They have always worked to divide us, so I urge you to spread the message so that Africa can unite it.
Nous avons la chance ou la malchance.
We have been lucky or unlucky enough to live through war for several years,
Et à un moment donné, il fallait dire
and at some point, we had to say enough is enough, that we are fed up. We have taken our responsibilities and we realize today more than ever that we were right to take our responsibilities. Because these armies that were installed here were never able at any time to monitor our territory, to see the terrorists who came to kill us and leave with all the means they had when we asked them to leave.
Hello everyone. Now I want us to watch this video of one and only Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim Traoré is bringing the absolute change that we want in Africa. He wants to bring Black Americans, Caribbeans back to Africa, and he welcomes them to his country, Burkina Faso. He says all those coming, it will be visa free. So I want us to watch this speech, great speech by him, then have a quick reaction at the end of it. Thank you so much.
Comrade fighters for freedom, for sovereignty and real independence, hello. Let us give thanks to God who allowed this day, day 11, to take place, and that we could meet in this bowl of the Palais des Sports to discuss the future of our homeland. Following your decision on May 25 to entrust us with the destiny of our homeland for 5 more years, be grateful for it. We do not see this as a mandate, but we understood it as a message that was given to us. And the message was very well received. And we will do everything to always earn your trust. Allow me also to pay a vibrant tribute to all these defense forces, these internal security forces, our valiant volunteers for the defense of the homeland, and all these populations who live in these areas with a strong security challenge, who are standing up. We pay tribute to them and we say thank you for all the sacrifices made for our homeland. I ask you that we can therefore observe a minute of silence to honor the memory of all those who lost their lives in this fight. Thank you. May the souls of the deceased rest in peace, and may the injured recover. Comrades, the emotion is great, of course, but allow me to articulate my remarks in 3 phases. The first phase will concern the stage from which I will explain to you how we see this world. The second phase, we will devote ourselves to explaining to you why we must continue to fight. And then the most important step would be to briefly outline the vision for the future, if I can put it that way. During these 20-some months spent at the head of state, we have had to meet several politicians from all sides. We met hundreds of diplomats from all sides. We met businessmen from all over the world. We have been open to all these exchanges, to all these discussions, to be able to learn from the world, to be able to understand the world. And today, I think that the opportunity is very good for me to be able to explain to you what conclusions we have drawn from all these meetings that we have had with politicians from all continents, diplomats from all the continents. It's very important. The conclusion we have drawn is very important, and it should allow you to understand the world. Because often in our countries, we do not have this perspective of being able to have access to certain people who will teach you a lot of things through their behavior, through their words, and also by telling you how they see us. Comrades, God created the world with all that there is in terms of happiness, misfortune, good, evil, humans, genies, animals, and everything that goes with it. But we humans have decided to make the world something else. Among the imperialists, they have a vision of the world that I will explain to you. The world is a triangle for them. You will see the triangle in most of their badges. Maybe you don't understand, but the world can be summed up in a triangle. For them, at the top of the triangle is the empire of good. And the empire of good is them. It is prosperity. It is everything that is positive. It is they who have the right to all that is happiness in this world. It is they who have the right to all wealth. It is to them to impose their way of seeing the world. It is up to them to impose their vision, their way of life. 2. This is why, during colonization or their conquest, I would say they came to our lands, and they said that they discovered our lands, because for them, we are savages. We have nothing like them, actually. So they called us natives, and they are the people. They arrogate all the rights to themselves. And for them, the world must work the way they want it to. It's simple. I'll take a few examples. Look through their film. They have prepared the minds of their people to make them understand that they are the best. Has not treated Chinese products as Shintox products, as we like to call them, bad products. But today I can tell you that we are all wrong, because China has a fairly advanced level of technology. And it is in China that most of these countries come to obtain their supplies, put their mark on it, and resell it to us as their property. Look around you. Our entrepreneurs who are in the construction industry will not say the opposite. All their machines today are Chinese. Those who carry out transport will not say otherwise. They lied to us because we traveled around the world a bit in these 20 months to look for companies, to look for factories. And we understood that everything was coming back there. But through their communication, they led us to hate all Chinese products, to want us to understand that what is good came from them. Not necessarily anyway. It's simple. Go back in time. To better understand what I would say, we need to go back in time a little. And I hope that some people will read about the Tsars, the Mongol conquests, the Persian, Turkish, and Ottoman empires. Read their story, you will understand why the world is like this. At the base of the triangle, there are two empires. On one side, the evil empire, according to them, and the slave empire on the other side. This is how they see the world. Who do they call the evil empire? Which I just cited the origin of right away. And I told you to go back in time, go read it. You will understand why they are the evil empire in their eyes. They are fighting the evil empire. For them, the evil empire must disappear. For them, the evil empire embodies the devil. They communicate and they make it clear to their people that way. This is why, after the Second World War, in the 1980s, I would take the case of Russia, where all the stratagems were implemented to collapse it with President Gorbachev. In the United States, it was President Ronald Reagan who was in charge. Three main stratagems caught our attention. So they went to Saudi Arabia to ask them to lower the price of oil from 35 to 7 to collapse the Russian economy. Along with this, the second ploy. Don't forget something. These same people who have just left Afghanistan, supposedly saying you are fighting the Taliban. the Taliban were received by President Ronald Reagan at the White House. They were armed by the CIA. The famous Stinger ground-air missiles were delivered to the Taliban to fight the Russians. And later, they come to supposed to fight them. Go figure it out. The third ploy was a bluff. The idea's project, Star Wars. Read. You will understand why they got President Gorbachev to create the Polos Project, which broke Russia. Once Russia collapsed, those who claimed to be from the empire began to gloat, until this team came along with Vladimir Putin to try to bring Russia back to the surface. The evil empire. The evil empire, according to them, suffered greatly. Look at Iran today. And for this, they put a cliché in mind. The African is easy to manipulate. He is only emotion. They will always find an African to fight against his brother. And it's always been like that. Through communication, they made you hate your own skin color. In our cultures and in many cultures in Burkina Faso, mourning was symbolized by the color blue. When a woman loses her husband, she therefore wore blue-colored outfits to mourn for a given time. They are the ones who came to tell you that black symbolizes mourning, the devil, mediocrity, everything that is bad. And unfortunately, we have swallowed this so much that when we grieve, we also put ourselves in black. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. Because this is the cliché they have in mind. They are the empire of good, others are the empire of evil, and we are the empire of slaves. This is how the imperialists see the world. You must understand this. And here, I am going to rant against certain intellectuals who continue to want to preach for the imperialists. Are they ignoring this part of the story? I'm not inventing anything. It's been declassified. You will find everything I said in the library or everywhere on the search engines. Haven't these intellectuals read that? Do they not know the history of this world? Perhaps it is dishonesty or a few dollar bills that leads them to always preach for the imperialists. Our intellectuals must be able to preach at all times, to raise awareness among our people, our popular masses, so that they understand where they come from and how they are seen by the imperialists. Let's take the history of a few wars. You followed the Iraq War, a big lie that was invented, supposedly about possession of weapons of mass destruction. Some senators in the United States did everything to have the evidence. They didn't get it. Remember that several people resigned from the CIA after this war. Evidence has been invented everywhere. Western secret services helped them fabricate evidence. And we remember that the same Niger was accused in his time by setting up a false agreement, a false contract for the sale of uranium to Iraq. This is the same process that they wanted to bring about last time for supposedly Niger selling uranium clandestinely to Iran. That they had no proof. Even the United Nations ultimately found that there was no tangible proof of the presence of weapons of mass destruction. But they had their objective, which was to destroy Iraq. They destroyed Iraq. They created the Islamic State, just like they created the Taliban in the 80s, the armies, equipping them, and then they pretend to come and fight them. Understand the game. It's gone on for too long. We need to wake up and understand all this and become aware of our situation and fight for our future. This whole war was invented passing through Iraq, Syria, Libya, with the aim of destabilizing the world for their benefit, because no one should be able to match them. This is what we are experiencing today in the Sahel also. that they have imposed on us, because they will always find black people who will get excited and who will take up arms against their black brothers. This is what we are experiencing. They never left this model. Unfortunately, many people agree with them. Because of a few dollar bills, they sell themselves much cheaper to the enemy, to the imperialist, and they begin to fight their brothers.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Beryl, and thank you so much for the subscribers who are returning, and for you who are actually watching right now. Please subscribe to my channel for the growth and for the betterment of all of us, right? So we have watched the video compilation of Ibrahim Traoré, that is the Burkina Faso president, and it brings so much joy, so much relief to actually realize that we still have sane people, sane leaders in the world who are able to actually fight for freedom, equality, diversity, and everything else that matters in life. So this is something that is quite encouraging, and let me just say it's quite commendable. Burkina Faso, you are doing a very fantastic job. You are actually being an example to so many countries, especially the countries in Africa at large. And the speech, oh my goodness, it could tear you down if you have actually known what being an African is, if you can actually feel the intensity of it. He's so outspoken, so soft spoken. I mean, like, he says it so well that it's easily understandable to even a 5-year-old on what exactly is happening to the world. So you are able to pick up the information that most countries, or the so-called countries with palm people, are actually making us go through so much, yet they're now trying to deport most of the Black Americans and other Jamaicans and other people back to their native land. Let me tell you something. Africans have now accepted the fact that it's okay. It's okay to deport us. Just return them back to their motherland, because most of them are actually born to those to those countries. Like Black Americans, some of them were actually born in the US. They don't know much about Africa. So when you deport them back to their native lands, you're doing a very wonderful job, whoever you are. So you are actually making Africa great again, because whatever skills you actually taught them all over the years, they're now going to bring it back to Africa free of charge. Why? Because of your greed, because of you, because of whatever you are actually making them go through. So just deport them. They're actually okay. They're not fighting it anymore. Africans have always been undermined, always been degraded in the society. So such things, actually, we are seeing it as a positive thing. Sadly, there are the minority communities that also voted for them are going through so much, but we are welcoming everyone, all the Africans, Black Americans that are in those other countries being deported. Please come back home. Burkina Faso is now actually even giving you and begging you, come back with those skills that you've gained from the US. Please come and spread them all over Africa. Please come and invest. The same way they came during the transatlantic trade, during those times, during slavery. They took you guys with your families to the US. You made America great again, and they're not appreciating your talent. They're not seeing the fruits that you went through. The emotional damage, the psychological, name it. Instead of actually praising you for making America to be where it is right now, they're actually trying to make you like it's a bad thing being taken back to your original land. Like they think that you're going to feel bad because you are actually going back to your original native land. I mean, surely it's not a bad thing. So for those who are being deported, come back to Africa. Even if you've not been deported, please come back to Africa and don't feel bad about it. It's not something like it's it's a bad thing. So always feel free. You can feel that Ibrahim Traoré's speech was so significant. He's mentioned some of the evil things that those in the United States have actually made the Black Africans, the Black Americans go through, the torture and the minerals that have been taken from us, slavery, our freedom, name it. He's actually exposing all that in a speech, something that not even our Kenyan president can actually call it out. I mean, Burkina Faso, you are a very lucky country because your president is calling out on evils that have been done with one of the largest, one of the greatest presidents with so much power. Let me say, not greatest president, sorry, one of the most powerful presidents in the world. So I'm sure that if he decides to cut off foreign aid like he did to South Africa, he's doing the same to Kenya. If they do the same to you, your president is like, bring it on. We are well equipped. You're going to try our best to just be ourselves and work it out without you. Because African countries, African leaders have made the nations to be so much dependable on the US to the point that we are actually begging, every time we're begging for loans, IMF, name it, for any aid. Literally, in short, as a nation, we're not, the taxes that we have are not helping us anymore. We're just paying the debts that our country is having. So as Burkina Faso, let me just, it's kudos to you guys. This is a very well done job to your president and to you as a nation. Continue encouraging other leaders to please to join the movement that you're actually doing. You're literally begging Black Americans to come back to the country, which is, oh my goodness, it's so amazing. So I commend your president, Ibrahim Traoré, for standing up, being so forward. Like, I mean, in this century, such a man, imagine, like, he's the president, he's like not scared of anyone. Those are the leaders we need, not these other leaders who get scared because of even grants and whatever. If we can become so independent to the point we don't need assistance from the United States and those other nations, imagine how great Africa can be. US is just a country, but Africa is a continent. Imagine if all of us, all the countries are independent to the point we don't depend on those countries. Can you imagine how far the continent would be? It will be make Africa great again, which is the project I think Burkina Faso has started, and I'm sure those brave African leaders are going to join in soon, hopefully. Yes, hopefully. So all I can say is Ibrahim Traoré stood up for so many nations, so many voiceless people in the world, which is, wow, it's just, I don't know what to say. It's commendable. You remember he even talks about a culture that was there, that they're trying to make black people be detained as people who don't matter in the society, and that's something that has been going on for quite some time. It's just the skin color. It's just a skin color. Just because you're black or you're white or you're palm colored doesn't mean you're better than me, okay? Just so you know. Black Lives Matter. So one thing that he actually talked about that is quite impressive is he mentions that in Burkina Faso there's a culture that during funerals or such sad occasions, people used to put on clothes like the purple color symbolized grief or like, yeah, such things, losses. But with the coming of the white people, they actually made sure that is destroyed. And now everywhere you go, they take black as, how do I put this? Black is the cloth worn during burials. It symbolizes grief. Why? Because they want you to feel that being black is not something authentic. Being black is not something that you are amazed or you are proud of. So These are some of the things in 2025 that we want to stop and we are not encouraging. So guys, commendable work to the Burkina Faso parliamentary team, the president at large, his support team, the nation for choosing such a wonderful, confident man. And oh my God, I wish other countries in Africa and the world at large could learn so much from him. Yes, they even brought education mostly based on the United States and the other countries. They took away all our Africanicity, everything drained just like that. So the president in Burkina Faso is really doing his best. Even the products, I'm sure they're going to be so much ahead. And anyway, let's just hope that the leaders we're choosing are the same advocating for such changes. He's a young man, energetic, and I'm sure that if we continue giving him great advice and the way he is, I'm sure Burkina Faso is going to be better and better. Because you hear that everybody wants to go to the US. Why? They hear that US has great opportunities, working conditions, the food, the pay, the environment. But what about Africa? What about Haiti? What about Kenya? What about Uganda? Congo? The only things you hear about is we are poor, we are begging for aid. There was a cholera outbreak that killed millions of people. There was a Ebola outbreak that killed millions of people. Like, they're not there in their countries advocating for you to come to Africa, but you in Africa is advocating to go to their country where they don't even want you there. They don't want you there because you're black. So please, let's make Africa great again. Change the hashtag to make Africa great again. Okay, so guys, please support my channel, subscribe, share, repost, like, comment. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your time. Bye.